Hi and welcome back to yet another video. My name is Emil and I have to tell you something. I recently sold my Mark V, the Mesa Boogie Mark V. Basically it's an awesome amp and it's one of the best out there, but for me it had too many options, too many modes, channels, stuff I didn't really need. And it is very expensive, so paying for all that stuff, I couldn't justify owning such an expensive amp when just using like one favorite mode. I did like the Tweed very much. Of course the 2C Plus mode is legendary and it sounds good, but to me the Tweed mode was what that amp was all about. So owning it just because of that would be like buying a very expensive huge big pack of ice creams and you only loved one of them, so like the rest of the 19 you had to throw away or something. It doesn't work, so I had to let it go, and instead I thought of the smaller TA-15, the Transatlantic 15. It's a 15 watt amp that can go up to 25 using the Dynawatt and also down to 5 watts. This amp has the Tweed mode. So what the Tweed mode is, it comes from an old Fender amp. The Tweed is like a slang for the stuff they cover their amp. It's like a plexi where the front panels are made of plexi. That is associated with that sound. The Tweed is associated with the Fender old overdriven sound. So and I mean the Mesa Boogie, the first Mesa Boogies were based on Fender amps, so it makes sense. But anyway, this amp is very compact, small, and it doesn't have as lot of stuff going on like the Mark V had. It still is very crammed with function and modes and stuff. So don't get me wrong. I mean, this is a very competent little amp, but it's not as crazy as the Mark V. It has a clean channel and a more overdriven channel. The clean channel has the clean channel and the top boost mode, and the overdriven channel has the Tweed. Tweed, we like that, and the high one and high two. The high one would be your flirt with the British sound, like Vox, Marshall, stuff like that. So I'm curious to see if those modes are also cool. I bought this amp just because of it had the Tweed mode though. And the high 2 mode is basically Mesa sound, so it's gonna have more bottom and like more body, more bass basically, and be like a really fat lead sound. So yeah, there you have it. I'm using the amp on 15 watt right now because that is what this is made to do. You can push it up to 25 watts, but in the studio there's no need for that. You can even switch it down to 5 watt like I said, but there's no real reason for me to do that now. So I'm running it in 15 watts. So how does the TA-15, the Transatlantic, sound then? Well, let's run through all the modes and channels and find out. Okay, we're gonna start out in the clean channel. In the clean mode, I have the volume set on noon. Treble is fairly high because I like that, and the bass is set to maybe 10, 11 o'clock. It also has a pull switch that is cut and master, so I'm gonna explain more what that does in a second, but right now it doesn't cut anything and the master is out of the circuit. So basically you have these three controls, so volume, treble and bass right now, and that sounds like this. Very clean, beautiful sounding. Of course, this is a Mesa, so the cleans are going to be awesome. I think that sounds pretty cool, actually. I mean, you can drop the bass a little bit, but it gets too thin. So I'm gonna, let's see if you really push the bass. That's too boomy. So I think I had the best sound. The treble, though, if you drop the treble, it lacks like character, so I'm not a big fan of that, so let's push that up again. So I mean, I think that's a pretty cool clean sound. Sounds great. Let's try to push up the volume to max and see what happens. That is absolutely phenomenal. I love that sound. Already in the clean channel with the volume on full, it just comes alive. So that is really cool. So it already reminds me of the Mesa Boogie sort of sound. So already it's there. Let's see if we can. If we drop some more bass, let's see what happens. So yeah, maybe I prefer the overdriven sound with a little bit less bass. Cool. Okay, so let's see what the cut and master does. Okay, so the master just brings down the overall volume. So if you pull this switch, this becomes a master volume. So right now, nothing, and then we have to adjust the volume with this. So you can set it at like 12 o'clock. I mean, this is with the master at 12 o'clock. It sounds okay. I mean, it's to be honest, it seems like you're getting some power amp distortion. So, and I mean, it sounds good. Usually, what happens if you pull the master down, you don't get the power amp goodness stuff. So let's lower it even more. So this is 9 o'clock. So yeah, there it starts to like lack. So what happens with the cut switch? When you pull it and use it as a master volume, the cut is like set to a desirable setting from the guys at the factory. So when it's off, it's not cutting any of the high frequencies before the power section. So that it kind of limits how much highs you're sending to the power section. So the more you have this up, the less highs are going into the power amp. So this is like 10 o'clock on the cut switch. Cool. So, I mean, it still sounds great. A little bit less highs though. 2 o'clock. And all the way up. And you can really hear there it's not letting a lot of high frequencies through. So yeah, that sound is to me unusable. So I actually prefer this left alone. So that knob is totally off. But it's a cool sound. So that is only in the clean channel. Remember that. So let's go to the top boost, and you can hear it's like fairly distorted. So back off the volume a little bit and. Gotta love that. That is phenomenal. That is the top boost, so it's like even more distorted and maybe even giving it some more high end. So I love that sound. This is I'm jumping to conclusions now, but this is the absolute favorite sound on this amp. I'm gonna be comparing this later on with the MESA Mark V. I might even back the volume down a little bit and push it with a tube screamer to get that fantastic sound. We'll have to see. But this is by far the best I think this amp got. So sorry for the spoiler alert there. But anyway, let's check out the Tweed mode and see what the Tweed setting is all about. So flicking that switch, I have the gain on full, treble on full, bass on almost zero, and the master, which doesn't have a cut function included, is on full. So we have this. Tweed mode is absolutely beautiful, but I have to say I actually prefer the top boost. I think I think the top boost mode sounds more like the Tweed on the Mark V did. So the top boost is the mode I'm going to be comparing to my Mark V, like I said. But I do like the Tweed setting. It's very cool. I'm curious about the high 1 and high 2. It's not more than that. I'm not impressed of the sounds I've heard on other demos, so I didn't buy this amp for the high 1 and high 2. But let's check out real quick the British and the Mesa sound. So this is high 1. No, hate it. Sorry, but this is just no. It lacks all character. The sound just died. I can't play with that. I'm sorry. Some of you might love it. I'm sorry, but I don't. High 2. It's better, but it's not doing it for me at all. It's just squealy and no, it's too much preamp distortion, and no, it's not. I don't like it. So to conclude this this quest, let's go back to the top boost and pull the volume down. So we have this. So good. It sounds like all of those sounds you hear all over the internet on the Kemper, like on the edge of breaking up Kemper sounds. All of them are using it right now and doing like ridiculous tapping stuff, and yeah, it's cool. And you can get that sound from this amp very easily. So let's I think what this amp needs is a little bit of help to get like the extra goodness. So let's hear that sound with the Tube Screamer. Well, my final thoughts before we end today. I think this is a great, very competent. It actually deserves more credit than it might have. I don't know if it's like a forgotten amp or something. It's not that super common. I know some of the great guitarists out there plays like the Big Brother, the TA-30. It is indeed a great amp. However, the sound I'm after in this amp, I think, for example, the high 1 and high 2 is just no, it's not good. It doesn't do it for me. The sound I am after is the pushed clean sound, the top boost and the Tweed, and I wonder if I should like venture into like the real Fender, maybe Bassman or Twin Reverb, to try that amp and see, because this is just like a copy, a clone of the real Fender era. So I don't know, I haven't played one actually. I might have an offer on one right now, so we'll see in the future if I make a video of a real bassman or a bassman. I don't know which way, it depends where you're in the world. But it is, so the positive is it sounds phenomenal. It's light, it weighs almost nothing. You can pick it up with like 2 fingers. It is I mean, doesn't have a ton of tubes that are expensive to change, and it's simple, and you can, even in 5 watts, you can really push this one. It could work doing rehearsals and shows. Possibly shows would be even easier because you would mic it up. But rehearsals with a drummer, I think 25 watts might be enough. It comes with this beautiful MESA Transatlantic 112, and I mean, it just looks, the looks are all right. If you can see the blue LEDs also, so I really like it. But I don't know if maybe I should try the real deal instead. Who knows? I mean, yeah, that's my 2 cents anyway. So thank you for watching this video. It got a little more in depth than I hoped for, but thanks anyway. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this kinds of stuff. My name is Emil, and I'm saying bye.